Hi, welcome back to Elements in Focus. My name is Aaron Rheaume, the Director of Financial Planning. As always, I've got Grant Sullivan, our Manager of Advisor Operations, with me. Grant, how are you this morning?
I'm doing great, my friend. And it's good to be doing these with you, and I always enjoy this.
You're always great.
Oh, you're always great. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, as you can see, Grant and I like to have a good time. So, in this video, our Elements in Focus, we're always breaking down our 5 critical elements, and we do this so that we can give you little snack size, little bites of information that might spark an idea or a question that you may have to reach out to us. So, as we cover these, we're focused on the investment playbook this week, and this is a difficult topic because for the past 18 months, the market has been in a up and down and mostly downward cycle, and so a lot of our families haven't experienced this for a prolonged period of time. Going back to 2007 through 2009, with some bumps in the road along the way. One of the things we do want to talk to you about today is this isn't your grandfather or grandmother's portfolio.
It's not. And so, what we mean by that is for some of you that maybe enjoy a beverage every once in a while, there's a great root beer out there. It's called This Is Your Grandfather's Root Beer,
Yep.
right? Because it's got a little bit of alcohol in it. For those that are watching that are underage, you won't be able to consume that for a while. But, and all joking aside, what we mean by this is that the strategies, philosophies, and principles that guided your grandparents' portfolios to the success they had in retirement are not the same ones that are going to guide us into the future. Why we're bringing this up now, some viewers may say, well, Grant, that's pretty common knowledge. Actually, it's really not. Because when we look at families, many of them come into us getting ready to retire, and they come in and say, Aaron, Grant, we want our portfolio to not be risky, right? They use the word risky. And that really poses the question, so what is risk? What is safe? And a lot of families will say, oh, I heard bonds are safe. Let's go to bonds. And in your 401ks, if you're using target date funds, which we can get into that in a later date, essentially what your 401ks automatically doing is moving you into more bonds as you age, because the old philosophies were, as you get close to retirement, you take on less risk, you do bonds. Well, here's the problem with that strategy. Last year, bonds actually suffered just as bad, if not in some categories, worse returns than the equity market did.
Volatility.
And absolutely. And so
Yeah,
there was a
they're very
whole lot
volatile.
of pain inside of the fixed income market. And so what does that translate to? Well, then shoot, does that blow the whole strategy out? It kind of does. Because if you go back and look at data, in the 90s, in order to get a certain amount of fixed income every year from the portfolios, you could have a significant amount of fixed income in the portfolio. Today, to achieve that same income, that fraction of what it was in the past is what you need. The rest has to be weighted toward equity. And so going back to building this, you have to think about alternatives. There are other ways and tools of investing that are available to us now that weren't before. And so when you're going inside and looking at the strategy, what you really have to understand is, what is your appetite? What is the appetite for volatility that you have? What is the appetite for risk that you have? And then from there, we can go ahead and look at building a portfolio. Families come in and say, here's what we want to have happen. Let's take a pause for a minute. Here's some things have changed in the last 5 years, let alone 15 or 20. And how are we going to achieve those goals using the knowledge we do today for the future? So remember, if you're investing and you're entering distribution or preservation and distribution, we may have to think of a different mindset and philosophy. The world has changed. But the good news is there are tools that help us today.
The other thing I like to remind people, and I do this often, is you are unique. Your financial situation's unique. It is custom to you. So when people talk about portfolio breakdowns and allocations, they do that in blanket statements. And so we have to take a step back and put ourselves in a fiduciary responsibility of making sure we're tailoring that towards you and your family specifically. So if you have questions and have some, comments or things that you want to talk about regarding investments in your portfolio overall, you can always schedule a complimentary Next Steps meeting. Call our office at 800-928-4001. Most likely, Brittany will answer, and she'll get you scheduled with one of the advisors on our team. If you have questions or want to know more details about stuff that Grant and I cover, email us at talktofeg@yourlifeafterwork. If you're diving for more content, we've got a ton of it on our website at yourlifeafterwork.com. Feel free to reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you. Thank you for watching and listening. We very much appreciate you. Have a great day.